return to it, may you show them mercy. May you tamper justice with mercy. May mercy reign over judgment. Lord, I stand to decree, and everyone that refuses, and everyone that is bent in causing your church harm, in causing your people sorrow, in causing your people, Lord, to suffer loss, may your anger was great on them. May your judgment was great on them. May your anger be unbearable on them. In the name of Jesus Christ. Lord, you said to Abraham, they that blessing shall be blessed, and they that cursing shall be accursed. And the voice of God in the land is like Abraham, even in the present day. And you have made me to know, they that bless the voice of God in the land shall be blessed. They that curse us shall be cursed. They that prosper us shall be prospered. They that pray for us for good shall obtain good. And they that fight us, Jehovah shall fight them. Elohim shall fight them. Jehovah Nissi shall fight them. Heaven shall trouble them. Air shall trouble them. Ante shall trouble them. East shall trouble them. Valley shall trouble them. The wind shall trouble them. In the name of Jesus. The voice of God in the land. We are for rising and for falling on them. They that bless us shall be blessed. They that want us to fall shall crush. Amen. They that wish us evil, their life, everything about them shall be the definition of evil. Amen. Shall be the definition of calamity. Amen. Shall be the definition of sorrow. Amen. Lord, for judgment shall be without mercy. To them that show no mercy. Every personality, every creator, troubling your church without mercy in the east, in the west, in the north, in the south, in the distance, and in the closet, troubling your church. Lord, may your anger be without mercy on them. Amen. May your indignation be without mercy on them. Amen. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Lord, blessed shall they be that love the prosperity of your church. And cursed shall they be that want your church to be a curse. Everyone working hard for the ministry to sink. The same way the fire of God's jealous anger was invested in the city of Sodom and Gomorrah. The fire of God's jealous anger shall be invested against them. Amen. Thank you, gracious Father. Thank you, blessed Redeemer. Thank you, Holy Spirit. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Let's open our Bible to the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 6. I'm reading from verse 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took the wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. For there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. And also that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thought of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made on man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created on the face of the earth, both man and beast, creeping things and the fowls of the air, for it repented me, and I offended, but Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Praise ye the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Listen to me. In the place where we read, God was displeased with the generation of Noah, with the contract they decided to go into that is not of his will. And God beard it. God just endured it. For the fact that God is enduring you in your evil doesn't mean he will endure it forever. For the fact that God is still patient with you, you are living in your wickedness, you are living in your sin, you are living in your immorality, you are living to oppose his counsel, to oppose his agenda. Yet you keep quiet. You marry, you give birth. You are training your children in the school. Your business is doing well. And you think that God cannot do anything. You think that God is not seeing, or he is not hearing, he is not aware of what is going on. My dear, you are the greatest joker. Don't mistake his slow to anger for weakness. Many in our generation are mistaking his compassion, his slow nature to anger. It doesn't just strike. You give a sinner time. There is a line you always put. But once the person crosses the line, judgment will definitely be executed. Once the person, listen to me, when Satan in the book of Job, Job chapter 1, Job chapter 2, came to God and had conversation with God on what he wants to do with Job, God put a line and said, don't cross this line. And Job left and afflicted his resources, afflicted the children, killed the children, robbed him of every good thing that Job had ever had. But that was the place he was meant to tamper. But he didn't afflict Job with sickness. Then when he wanted to move further, he needed to go and seek for permission again. And that was the time he now come to meet with God in the book of Job chapter 2. And he said, touch his head. Allow me to afflict his head. Then he will curse you. Then he will make sure that he never repairs his integrity. Just allow him to afflict his head. Man can offer anything just to get good head. Man can pay any price because he wants to give head. All the things that afflicted him may not touch him, but let him be sick. Then he will see his true nature. And God say, okay, go. But make sure you don't tamper with his soul. Afflict him with sickness as much as you can. Trouble his head as much as you can. But make sure you don't take his life. Don't kill him. Make sure you don't cross the boundary. I am telling you that is a boundary God has put on every soul he created. And once you cross that boundary, judgment comes. You may be a witch. You may be a wizard. You may be a demonic man. Some people go to church to attack the man of God or the woman of God or the woman. Yes. Some people go to church to fight them, to shoot an arrow, to make sure they misbehave, to make sure they doesn't carry out the assignment that is given to them by God. Countless people are into that assignment to make sure that the church of God doesn't stand, to make sure that anything they put their hand in doesn't work. You may be doing it and God keeps silence, but I'm telling you, He's never going to keep silence forever. It is coming, judgment will come. It is coming. It's going to boom around. It's going to backfire on you. Don't mistake His silence for weakness. Don't mistake His patience for coward. God is never coward. He knows what He's doing. When you go to the book of Genesis chapter 6 verse 3, it said, and the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. That was when God was still with patience with man. That was when God was still, maybe he will repent, maybe they will change, maybe they are going to change to return to me. Let me give them more time. But after he has given them time, they didn't return. They continue to walk strong in their evil, in their wickedness, in their abomination. Now, when you go to verse 7, another statement. The well of his mercy dry. The well of his compassion dry. The well of his patience dry. You couldn't bear it. You couldn't endure. You couldn't take it. He said, I am no longer going to take it. Verse 7. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, but man and beast and the creeping things and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. What do you call it? Out of patience. I'm preaching a message titled, when God is out of patience. When God runs out of patience, of controlling your weakness, of tormenting you, when the well of his patience dry on a man, on a city, on a group of people, on a ministry. The first verse we read, he was still with patience. He was still having patience. And for the fact that God is still having patience with our generation is full with all kinds of wickedness. People do all kinds of things. And that is why people can enter the sanctuary. People can enter the place where they gather to call upon the name of the Lord, and they will slaughter, and they will waste life like though they are animals, like though they are chicken. And God is keeping quiet. He is keeping quiet not because he doesn't know what to do, but he's keeping quiet, waiting the time that the well of his patience will dry. And I am assuring this generation, time is coming very soon that the well of his compassion will dry. The well of his patience is going to run dry very soon. And immediately it runs dry, judgment shall be executed. To the witch, to the wizard in the church, to a cutting men and women in the church, who does nothing but to pour against the glory and the blessings of the people. God will not keep silent forever. Judgment is coming. And once he rises in his anger, can you be able to stand? You that turn to all sorts of things in the night to destroy lives, to rob people, to divert their glory, to divert their business, their contract, their supply. When God will stand in anger, what will happen to you? You think he can tolerate you forever? You think that after you will come, you cry for mercy. God have mercy. Judgment will definitely be executed on every evil soul, on every hardened sinner, on every evil doer, whether inside the sanctuary of God or outside the sanctuary of God. God run out of patience. I said the end have come, I will destroy both man and beast, both creeping things and the fowls of the air. God must have kept quiet. You commit fornication, get a lady in question pregnant, and aborted it. You kept quiet. God must have kept quiet. You indulge with all sorts of evil activities in the workplace. You think it's not sin. He that created the eyes, will he not see? He that created the ear, will he not hear? He that created the hand, will he not fight? He will definitely. He has seen you. He knows you. He understands you. But he's waiting for judgment. He's waiting for the day in which he will execute judgment and anger. Many have taken the assignment of James and Jambres, who withstood the man of God from rebuilding the broken wall of Jerusalem. Who are terrified in making sure that things doesn't go the way God expected to go. Are you there? Serving the ministry of James and Jambres. And the word of God said, you shall proceed no further, for their fruit shall be made known. Have you taken up the ministry of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram? As we are told in the book of Numbers. And what was that? To fight the man of God. They rose up against Moses. They all may not be physically, but they be spiritual. But we all know how they ended. How the ground opened up and swallowed them. And everyone that agreed with them. Are you there with the assignment of Lucifer? Just like the very day there was war in heaven that I talk about. In the book of Revelation chapter 12. There was war in heaven. Lucifer rose up, got some angels in his side, some archangels in his side, for them to rebel against God, to oppose the counsel of their Creator. But I want you to know how they ended up and what still awaits them. They were chased out. They lost their place, they lost their position, and they lost it forever. And the lake of fire is waiting for them. Until today, if there is anything Satan will do to regain his position, he will have done it. But God has run out of patience. Remember, another set of people came after the generation of Noah, when God had finished them, leaving Noah and everything and entered the ark with him. Another set of generation rose up during the time of Abraham and Lot. The generation, the people of Sodom, the people of Gomorrah, they continue to live their life. They continue to indulge in the things they want, thinking that God is not seeing, thinking that God is not aware. But the day came, God remembered them and chose to visit them. Genesis chapter 19, from verse 1. And there came two angels to Sodom and even and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot seeing them rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face towards the ground, and he said, behold now, my Lord, turn in, I pray you, into your servant house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early, and go on your ways. And they said, nay, that we will abide in the streets all night. Then I move forward. Verse 4. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter, and they called unto Lot, and said unto him, where are the men which came in to thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after him. Even old men wanted also to sleep with them. We are in the time that shame both the old and the young. There is no more shame. The aged one lacks shame. The youth lacks shame. The children lack shame. Everyone indulge in all sorts of abomination. And God is keeping quiet. Some will be asking, but why is God keeping quiet? Today, people are selling their tools just to make money. People are sleeping with dogs, cats, rats, different type of things. Goat, fowl. Both young, both old. And God is keeping quiet. He's keeping quiet because the ocean of his patience have not dried. You see pastors pregnanting their members in the church. During a portion, by pastors, a lot of atrocity. In the Christmas forum, they go for program from bed of adultery, from bed of fornication, into the altar of God. And God is keeping quiet. Many young innocent children are defiled, even at the pastor's table, even at the altar, so-called altar of the church. And God is keeping quiet. People enter, lock up people who gather to worship God, lock them up, set the place ablaze. And God is keeping quiet. The other time, somebody who rose up in the morning for morning cry was killed, and God kept quiet. But the day is coming, he will be out of patience. And whilst he is out of patience, the disaster is better told than to witness. Whenever you run out of patience, the calamity is not even good for the ear to hear, that the eyes to behold. Go through the Bible. Anytime God runs out of patience, it's horrible. Anytime the well of his mercy dry, it's horrible. Don't push him. Don't wait in your evil for his well of patience to dry on you. And we must know that before now, that these people in question, the end they came to visit to see if all the people in the city of Sodom and Gomorrah have all together done according to the evil that they hear. Yes, when you go to the book of Genesis, Genesis chapter 18. Genesis 18, verse 19 to 20. For I know him that he will command his children and his household after him, that they shall keep the way of the Lord, to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he has spoken of him. And the Lord said, because the cry of the city of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sins is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have done all together according to the cry of it. My dear, your evil work are crying to God for vengeance on you. Your secret sins, your wicked act, the evil work you do in that evil kingdom. You that still come to church and patronize native doctors, visit shrines, visit fortune tellers, people that are using familiar spirits, all in the name of miracle. Your evil work is crying unto God for vengeance, for judgment, which is come unto me, and if not, I will know. And the men turned their face from theirs and went towards Sodom, but Abraham stood yet before the Lord. You see what transpired before Genesis 19 that we read. So they said, let's go and visit. Let's know the cry of their wickedness has come to our ear. We can't hold it anymore. But may I ask you, if the cry of the evil of the city of Sodom and Gomorrah was unbearable to the ear of God, that they needed to come down. Do you think that this nation have not committed more than that of Sodom and Gomorrah? I've said it before. This is the generation that have committed worse things. The wickedness of this generation, both people in the church and outside the church, can never ever be compared with any wickedness you have ever read in the Bible and will ever be read. So, oneness is judgment. Oneness is wrath. Oneness is anger. Oneness, the destruction of all who refuse to obey his word. When God ran out of patience, in the book of 1 Samuel, he says somebody go and tell Eli and his household of their wickedness, of their sin, of their evil. They are molesting my name. They are disgracing my name. Are you not molesting the name of the Lord through your character? Through your evil works? In the school? In the office? In the company? In the compound? In the church? God said, I can no longer bear it. And the man went and told them, Eli still continue. What he needed to do on the children he didn't do. They can't get. God couldn't get it again. He called Samuel. Do you know that the calling of Samuel was hesitated? Why? God was running out of patience for Eli and his household. God was, listen to me. Do you know that the prayer that Hannah prayed was inspired by God through his spirit to pray the prayer he prayed because God already had decided to replace Eli. Yes, and the time was approaching. God needed to answer speedily the prayer of Hannah. Why? The office of Eli is vacant. Even while Eli was still on the seat, are you sure that your office before God is not vacant, even though you are still in the office? Are you sure that the assignment that God has given you is not given for another? Remember, Saul was still the king of Israel, and God anointed another king, isn't it? So what makes you think that spiritually your position is not right? So Samuel was born, and God was still, let me see if Eli and the children will repent. Let me see. And they were not doing it. Eli didn't do what he's supposed to do. The children didn't do what is expected of them. And God will say, Samuel, come on. Samuel was called and ushered into the form of the prophet. That is how his call came. And when God called Samuel, what did he tell Samuel? Go and warn your leader. Go and warn your prophet. Go and warn him of the sins of his household. As for them, God was still with patience, isn't it? But after that, what happened? Destruction. They went to battle, the two sons died. Eli, they brought the news to Eli. The act of covenant had been taken. Eli dropped dead. One of the wife of the sons of Eli, Phinehas by name, the wife was pregnant with child. He had the news, my father-in-law is dead, my husband is dead, and the act of covenant had been taken. That caused her to give birth premature. Some of you don't know the anger of God. The length it can go. The woman gave birth premature and left the child in cow. And then what happened? She died. You see how the anger of God moved? It affected the people of Israel. Why? Because the act of covenant was taken. Many people died as a result of that battle. Why did that battle come? Because God wanted to do that battle to kill the two sons of Eli. Now, Eli died. The wife of the child died as well. My dear, the anger of God is better. It's not even good to hear than to witness. I'm telling you the truth. I remember a song we want to sing in the early days. Onye nuru chukwu bara ya ọsọ. Onye ahụ ga-adị n'ụwa ọnwụ ka ya mma. Meaning, when you hear the warning of God, and you refuse to take warning, and you refuse to adjust, death will be better than the person. Death will be better than the person. He will always warn. And after warning, if they don't fail to repent, destruction. But if we warn, like the message is sent to Jonah, and Jonah warned the city of Nineveh. This is what God is going to do. And they hearkened, and they cried, and they lamented. They poured their heart to the Lord. They forsook their evil way, and God changed his mind. His anger made God to change his mind on the judgment he has decided to execute on you and your household. You are lying to execute it. Two things must happen. One, he will forgive you because of genuine repentance, making amends of your evil, of your wickedness, or face his wrath. And when it will come, the prayer of your pastor cannot stop you. That's another thing. I told you, like a trailer, there is a speed a trailer will give that even the person riding it cannot be able to control. If you want it to stop, you cannot be able. I am the one sitting. The controller is above. He is the one directing. He is the one determining where to stop and where not to stop. How speed the journey will be. He is the one that determines, not me. Run from the wrath of God. It is a dangerous thing to test the anger of God. Run from his wrath. That's it. Run. Because if God decided to run out of patience on a man, on a nation, anybody that stands on the way to pray get a problem. That's another thing. That's why if you're a prayer warrior, not anybody that is passing through problem just come up. You started fighting. You started racing. No. If God is fighting anyone, and you are praying against the personality fighting the person, you never know what will hit you. Anybody that wants to pray against that thing will enter problem. The only way to avoid it is genuine repentance. Forsake your evil way. I have no joy in the death of the wicked, says God. But for the wicked to turn from his evil way, turn here from your evil way. Now is still the hour of salvation. I did not go in the light, because there is nothing that knows you. I only know what I see, because there's nothing that knows both what the physical eye can see and what the invisible eye can see. Don't allow God to run out of listening. Don't allow him to run out of patience. When he runs out of patience, the end is disastrous. You know what happened to the city of Sodom and Gomorrah? How their end pity today. You know what happened to the generation of Noah? How their end. You know what happened to Pharaoh? All the while that God was releasing one after the other, afflicting the land, there was patience. They continued because God was having patience. Pharaoh think that he can do what he wants to do. After God afflicted the land, afflicted his people, He will beg Moses, beg your God, please, beg your God, I don't want to die. This problem is too much. And Moses will beg God, and God will have mercy. And he nearly don't have mercy. Pharaoh rises up again. And he continued. He thought that God would continue to follow him like that. That was when God is still on mercy. If God is still on mercy, if He still patient with you, commit adultery. After committing, come to the altar and stand and minister. The power of God will flow. Still finish. The power of God will still manifest. You go to let Him go to get power. He will still keep quiet. But any time He has run out of mercy, everything you turn your hand to will rise against you. So Pharaoh was enjoying the whole thing, and God was giving him. He told him to continue, and that was what gave him the effrontery. That even after the death of the firstborn, they could be able to pursue. Even after they have asked the people to go, they still pursue. And they never knew that his patience was at the verge of getting dry. He was at the verge what happened? They pursued him to the Red Sea. They pursued him to the Red Sea. And they entered. He thought that the same grace will be available. He thought that the same opportunity will be available. But my dear, it's never available. God ended them. They didn't escape like they usually. You never be escaping, fighting the cause of God, and be escaping. Then the day is coming that we may escape. But it's better you don't wait for that day. Because that day, once it will come, no repentance. Do you think that Pharaoh didn't repent when the mercy was coming on them? Do you think that they didn't repent? When the city of Sodom and Gomorrah was on fire, do you think that they didn't repent? My dear, they repented. But everywhere was that place. It can no longer be reversed. It can no longer be reversed. Don't get to the stage where it cannot be reversed. When the flood came, do you think that the people of one generation, they didn't repent? When they saw it, the flood was taking over. Those of them that were still witnessing it, they repented, they cried for mercy, they shouted, they prayed, they begged God, they shed tears, they even were injuring themselves to see Him come for Him. But no, the more they cried, the flood gone. The more they cried, the flood gone.